New home construction continues to decline. Hey everybody, Scott Walters, welcome back to the channel. If you're new, I want to thank you for coming. If you're returning, I want to thank you for your continued support. As a licensed real estate agent in a euphoric market like we've never seen before, I have been living in a complete Twilight Zone episode of real estate. It has been insanity. Came to YouTube to start warning people, please be careful in these times. This is an artificially stimulated real estate market and just all investment markets as a whole. As a salesman, I know it's strange to hear a realtor say what most of us are thinking, but that's what I've done and the channel is responding, so I'm going to continue to bring it. I'm going to bring it hard. I'm not going to pull many punches. I'm going to do my best to give it to you guys straight. So before we get into the topic, I am going to politely ask you to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment below. I would absolutely love to hear from you. Please watch to the end, what should be my final thought, and do please hit the bell icon so you're notified when new videos come out. It is very important to stay close to the channel in these very, very tricky times. So yeah, folks, here's the deal. As I continue to just keep my thumb on the pulse of my local market and heat map my active buyers and call volume that I'm currently getting, it's been a huge taper down. In my opinion, now we're entering what is a more normalized, stabilized market. And why that is so tricky, in my opinion, is because if we could just freeze frame this situation right now, maybe we survive, maybe we do okay, but we still have a propped up housing market in the form of government stimulus programs, and we still have to end these programs. So there's some fiscal cliffs around the corner when these programs end, in the form of eviction bans ending, with landlords coming to market, foreclosure bans ending, and banks now being able to foreclose on all their distressed homes, which I see many notifications within my inner agent email that I get, where banks are already gearing up for those. As well as unemployment benefits ending. A lot of people that were enjoying the good life are now going to be forced back to work. And just, I could go on and go on and on, but there's some big fiscal cliffs, and now we've seen even without the fiscal cliffs ending, we're seeing this cool down in the markets, and that alone should get everybody's attention. Again, in the last crash, this exact same thing happened. And while this crash might be different, this is a global recession, right? We've had supply chain issues. Just everything that can happen is now happening. There's so much turmoil globally that it's really having a potential huge effect on us. I mean, the alarm needs to sound very loud right now. While I continue to do my best to just smile, I'm a salesman, so I'm going to sell it a little bit, and I'm always going to have a good attitude, because that's what's ultimately allowed me to achieve the level of success that I've achieved today, is because I had to have a mental switch where I said, listen, I have to make lemonade out of lemons most of the time. You know, that's just the way life is. And again, I always say, in order for me to retain or build my wealth, I have to make others wealthy. And that's my goal with this channel. I just want to try to be a soundboard, a voice of reason in what's been a crazy, crazy world. So while this is the real estate channel, we're going to continue to segue off of real estate. We will probably touch on a lot of mental strengths that we can develop in order to position ourselves to succeed in not only the housing market, but in life. So as one of the things that we've seen is a 7% decline in new home construction. It's slowing. We're seeing a decline in mortgage applications. When I have my weekly sales meeting, when we talk to the mortgage department every week, you know, they're constantly, what they have in the mortgage industry is, and my mortgage people will probably chime in, is we have what's called mortgage products. The 30-year fixed rate mortgage is the most standard product that we push, or they push rather, or that even as agents we should be pushing. But there's many other things that you can do in terms of types of mortgages that are available. And so the reality is a lot of those applications have declined. And so, you know, there's these clear pullback. Banks are now making it tougher for people to borrow money. They're pulling back. We've all heard and seen a lot of the headlines where they've just automatically cut people's credit card limits. They've automatically pulled all the way out from under them any personal lines of credit. They're worried. They're worried because they're exposed. And they understand the markets are euphoric right now because we've pumped in all of this funny money to inflate them. And the reality is that is really the most dangerous part of the world we live in now, at least here in America, is because the government cannot pull the plug on the stimulus programs. They've printed themselves into a corner. And so if we ended them all at once, it would be pandemonium in the streets, if I had to guess. The social unrest we saw in the pandemic would be nothing compared to the social unrest that we would see if they pulled the plug on the stimulus programs. Even though we're not receiving, there's no more money coming directly to the mailboxes for us. That's done. But what they're going to do is they're going to continue to just pump in the money into the economy, with the eviction bans and the mortgage forbearance and these stimulus packages for infrastructure. They're going to continue to do these things, and it sucks because what it's ultimately going to cause for us is it's just going to, our cost of living goes up because someone's got to pay that, and it kind of sucks because somebody in government's decided American people will pay for it, and so it's very short-sighted because what we did is we were just trigger happy. We pulled the trigger on these without really thinking them all the way through, in my opinion. And again, folks, this is my channel, my opinion, but I know most of you feel the same way at some level, right? I like to say a lot of times the truth is usually in the middle, has been my experience. I have a lot of life experience and a lot of things that I've practiced in my own life or heard. Usually the truth is somewhere in the middle, right? You have a friend who's, saying, this guy's an idiot, and you got a guy over here saying, that guy's an idiot. Well, usually it's somewhere in the middle. Usually both of them are an idiot, right, at some level. So that's kind of my take on this. But as we see the markets pull back, I'm seeing less offers on property, less offers over asking price. I'm seeing less offers willing to remove inspections, appraisals, and contingencies. We're getting back to a more cautious level. I'd like to think I have helped in that. I know I have with my immediate client base. And then, new home, you see back in the last bust, they built and built and built and built and built homes like crazy. In fact, you could go drive down the street in the last '08 bust and you would see these housing tracks go from finished houses to unfinished houses to just foundations to empty lots, and they was just pulled the plug, everything froze in time. Well, now at least a lot of the builders, with the exception of the fact that their supply chains have been broken in the form of getting their hands on building materials, really handicapped them, and then finding workers has handicapped them as well. But at the same time, it's almost a good thing, because if we overbuild right now because of this housing, it's so short-sighted. It's such a short-sighted way to look at, if you build it, they will come. That format does not work anymore. That format is not working anymore, in my opinion. You need to be very cautious in this time, and that's what we're seeing, cautious from the banks, from the builders, even a couple realtors out there. We're being very cautious because we understand this is much more volatile than the last crash, because this was a health pandemic that touched us globally, and we're a global economy. There's too many stimulus programs that none of things ended yet. Like I like to say, we're not even at ground zero. We need to start pulling the plug on stimulus programs to see how the market's going to respond. And that's why I continue to sound the alarm. Let's wait. Good job. Let's wait. Let's see how this shakes out. And again, I don't there's a great division on many topics, and this is one of them. And I always like to tell my people that just bought, even if you bought at the height and paid over market value to get your property, you don't lose in real estate when you buy at the wrong time. You lose in real estate when you sell at the wrong time. Take it from me. I've won and lost in real estate. And so my alarm, I continue to sound, my mantra continues to be, just Put enough down on your properties so if the property is forced to become a rental, it'll make its payment. And that's really the path to wealth, folks. Like I like to say, 95% of all millionaires made their money in real estate. It wasn't by owning their primary home. It was by owning other people's homes. So this is something that you should get familiarized with doing. Start with your own home. And then your next purchase, you're going to understand this is what I need to do. I have enough money to go buy a rental property, investment income. Investment income is the most awesome thing you'll ever find. And there's no more awesome investment income than rental income, residual income, real estate income. But I think for us, we want to just dump, $20,000, $100,000 into the latest trending stock and just watch our freaking phone all day to see how our stocks are doing. And then if they're down, we're down. If they're up, we're up. That's a bad way to live, in my opinion. It's just a bad way to live. Save your money. Save your money. Pay off debt. Pay for your purchases in cash. If you have to finance, make sure it's it's too good of a rate to pass up on. Don't carry credit card debt. Pay that off first. The only debt you should carry is possibly your housing payment. Other than that, I have several cars, all of them paid for, and they're not brand new. Like they're nice. I got some nice stuff, but they're not brand new. And I got a few, so they're not my daily drivers, so they're not getting overdriven. I love it. I mean, again, we'll talk about this more in future videos, but again, I just wanted to come on, continue to thank you people. Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate the warm reception I've gotten on YouTube. I'm going to continue. I know you're busy. I'm busy. I'm doing my best not to bring you watered down bubblegum content with homemade manufactured vibe on these videos. I will save that for I've done that in the past, and it was mainly reserved to property profiles and things like that where it required a certain amount of edits. This is not the time to wow you and dazzle you with bubblegum content. This is the time to just do my best and try to let you see an active boots on the ground agent heat map the markets and bring you his thoughts as somebody who's been around long enough to know when there's some clear warning signs, and those warning signs are here, my friends. So please stay tuned to the channel. Go out and make it count today, and we'll see you on the next video.